Aerodrome Finance, don't let this next move catch you off guard. My name is Mike Madz. Let's start this video. Before we start the video, as always, Aero community, make some noise. Every like matters, every comment matters. The more people engage, the better it is for the video. The more people are going to see about Aerodrome, the better it's going to be for us. Keep in mind, I am on vacation here in Greece, so give me an extra like for doing this effort here while people are swimming outside. Let's stop wasting time. Let's jump straight into it. Keep in mind, guys, of course, the audio quality and the quality in general is not going to be the best here. Again, I'm on vacation, but I'm still pushing out this video, as Aerodrome, as always, is at important levels here. Today, we're going to talk about the recovery. Are we currently in a recovery, or is it just a dead cat bounce? The risk currently, especially for Bitcoin here, the possibility of dragging the entire market still down here for one final push, price action for Aerodrome, and two options you can do right now in order to navigate this space here. Now, take a look at the recovery here. Not a lot of metrics today. Again, guys, nothing has changed. Aerodrome still number one base player, hands down, number one DEX. Fundamentally, nothing has changed. Long-term wise, extremely bullish on Aerodrome, especially extremely bullish on the USD valuation of the AERO token. So here, nothing has changed. The only thing that changed here is the short-term picture from here until the end of the year and possible scenarios you need to protect yourself to in order not to get wrecked here. Take a look at Aerodrome here, very base metric here. As you can see at the base ecosystem, Aerodrome still number one, 600 million TVL, not the most impressive, especially looking at other ecosystems, but for this time frame, actually still super healthy. And of course, for base year, this is actually substantial. As you can see here, the 7-day change here in TVL, almost 2% gain here. Keep in mind, guys, on the month here, we are still down in TVL, of course, as the AERO token here is down and people are fleeing into safety. Some people got shaken out, some people left the space, some people panic sold. So absolutely normal behavior here. Again, grand scheme of things, zooming out, nothing has changed for Aerodrome and nothing has changed here for the price prediction of Aerodrome here, especially looking at next year. Take a look at the price action of Aerodrome. If you zoom out here, this is the grand scheme of things. As you can see, still in a massive downtrend here. This is just technically true. And especially if you look at the bull market support band here, guys, we still are underneath it. So technically, we are still on a downtrend. As you can see here, we're still having lower highs. So again, this is still a downtrend, guys, despite the fact we had a super impressive rally here, again, pushing up to higher prices. But also, as you can see here, a couple months ago, the same sentiment was here. Huge dump, huge rally, just to get rejected here off the bull market support band. So keep that in mind. Things can take longer than most people expect, which does not mean that this downtrend is going to continue forever, and which does also not mean here that this move here is not sustainable to the upside. We still have to go day by day, week by week. We have to take a look at super important levels here, which I'm going to tell you shortly. Take a look at those levels in order for you to know when to expect things here to move into finally real bullish territory. As you can see here, the first level, super important, in order to test the lower band here of the bull market support band, is going to be around the level of 83 cents. Keep in mind, of course, those moving averages here are moving down slowly. So again, this level slowly but surely is going to creep down. But roughly here, let's say around the level of 83 cents is going to be the real test here. And also it's going to be resistance here. So keep in mind, let's see how Aerodrome reacts to that. You can look at the general altcoin market. Some alts are absolutely flying. So I don't see why Aerodrome cannot test those levels here in the next couple of weeks. But again, we have to take it day by day. The more important level here, the most important level here, especially in the short term, is surprisingly, again, almost very close here to the $1 mark here. Super interesting. Again, the upper moving average here is around the level of $1 in combination with this psychological level. Pretty simple here. You have to watch $1. Are we going to get rejected again? Or are we finally going to be able here to push through to finally see those new all-time highs here? Keep in mind, guys, we are in crypto for this huge upside potential. We are not in crypto for this 10, 15, 20% moves. If you are seeking 10, 15% moves, stocks actually did better here in the last couple months with a less risk profile. So keep that in mind. Once Aerodrome closes above $1 and once finally Aerodrome pushes to new all-time highs, I expect a crazy mania phase. So nothing has changed here. Just again, the short-term picture, you always have to keep that in mind, as in the short term, things can take longer than most people expect, okay? Take a look at the options here, or take a look at the risks first. The biggest risk right now for altcoins is still Bitcoin here. It really depends on Bitcoin, guys. Where is Bitcoin heading here in the short term? if we are repeating 2019, and why I keep bringing up 2019 is because simply the market structure is similar, okay, first of all. And second of all, in 2019, we had rate cuts, guys. Keep that in mind. Usually the first rate cuts, usually for equities and also for crypto, it's not the most bullish thing. Is history going to repeat? We'll have to see here. The first rate cut is next month. Of course, until then, altcoins and Bitcoin can still rally into the first rate cut. But again, for the first rate cut, we'll have to see how the market reacts here. So this is currently the biggest risk, which is a short-term risk, because usually towards the last rate cut here, and especially again, once the money printer is back on, risk assets absolutely explode, because simply the risk appetite increases here and people move, also retail here moves into those high risk assets like crypto. Keep that in mind. Of course, the last recent weeks here, altcoins started to sniff out this looser monetary policy, and this is why currently here, guys, Bitcoin and altcoins had this huge V-shaped recovery. I'm surprised by it, not gonna lie, but it is what it is and you have to adapt accordingly. Now taking a look at two options here. Long story short, you have two options, guys. The first option is right now, in order to navigate this space, is if you are willing to navigate this volatility here in the next couple of weeks, just simply hold your Aerodrome position with the outlook. Why is that? Because we are not even at all-time highs yet. And in my personal opinion, again, we didn't even have this mania phase. So if you have this conviction, just simply hold your position. And if you can, have a cash position on hand, because then you can reap the benefit here and you can stay calm here during dips as you simply buy those dips to new all-time highs here, either in Q4 or next year. We'll have to see how it goes. Second option is, if you are in the camp that most probably here this next couple of weeks and months are not going to be up only, then it's better actually to be in Bitcoin, okay, as Bitcoin dominance still can go higher, and to be in cash, okay. Very, very risky to say, especially as USD or the Dixie is going down here, but in the short term, it is still an option to be in cash, to wait for confidence. And once you have the confidence back, and once you have this clarity back where the market cycle is going, then you can re-enter, especially after Aerodrome hit the bull market support band, tested it as support, which is around the level of $1. Once we hold $1 as support, you can still go in. Of course, you missed a huge chunk of the upside move here from the lows, but then you can be sure here that continuation to the upside is pretty substantial. So those are the two options, pretty simple. At the end of the day, guys, you have to do your own research, very, very important. You need to have your own clarity on where the market is going. I cannot give you that clarity. As for me, guys, I'm currently looking for re-entries here, but I'm only going to re-enter into Bitcoin and Ethereum as I want to minimize my risk here to the downside, especially Ethereum here. I want to have a big Ethereum position, even though most people are currently hating on Ethereum. Even though I'm an extreme Solana bull, guys, I bought Solana at very low levels. I simply currently am seeking maximum safety, but still upside potential. Once I have this clarity back, real clarity, guys, not just a small pump here. Once I have the clarity back, I'm gonna dabble back into altcoins, riskier altcoins, to most probably ride the wave here, the mania phase here, either in Q4, okay, or either next year. We have to see how this cycle develops. Very, very simple. Again, big picture, guys, Aerodrome, nothing has changed. Fundamentally, absolutely bullish on it. Price-wise, $10, $15, $20 plus if the mania phase comes into play, and especially if the money printer is back on. Guys, altcoins can explode higher than most people expect, especially for a short period of time. But saying that, at the same time, make sure to gauge your risk, because risk-wise, nobody knows if this is a sure thing here. Just because things are repeating does not mean we're going to have another altcoin cycle. Again, my base case is, yes, we're going to still have an altcoin cycle, but my base case is here that we're going to have this real alt season next year, and that things might take longer than most people expect. I can't be wrong. This is why it's super important to do your own research. Very, very important. Be bullish on yourself. That yields the most returns. And the most important thing is, actually, before I say it, let me know your thoughts down below here. Do you agree with my view? Do you disagree? Do you think we're going to have the peak of the cycle this year, Q4, or next year? But again, the most important thing is, don't get wrecked.
Giving up from blue tops like Mars Simpson, just hard discipline, pot simmering, cooking up, no rocks in the pan, watching the plan form in the sand, bidding castles out of thoughts in our head, late nights, no sleep in my bed, trying to see my dreams manifest. Look at that, now look at that, we night.